Well, hello there my friends, welcome back to yet another ROM hack review. Throughout August, I've been reviewing some more earlier hacks, and honestly it's time to play something a bit more, modern. How about SM64 Last Impact, created by the beloved madman Kaze Emanuar. I have a lot to say about this one because it's one of my favourites, so without further ado, let's begin. Last Impact is a huge ROM hack created by Kaze Emanuar, one of the biggest names in SM64 hacking, and honestly hacking in general. As well as Skelux, he's done a lot in terms of hacking throughout the years, with this huge hack being what I like to call his first true success. Being one of the highest regarded ROM hacks of all time alongside Star Road and Green Stars, but we don't talk about that second one. Kaze Emanuar used a heap of ASM to make pretty much everything in this ROM hack possible. In my opinion, this hack feels like a love letter to the fans of the Mario series, as there is a lot, and I mean a lot of references to it in this game, from power-ups to bosses and even entire worlds. This hack was released on September 30th, 2016. Anyway, let's get into the meat of the review. For those who aren't in the know, I used the most recent build of the game, 1.2, to play this game, so all my critique is going to be based on that version. Good? Good. Finally a hack where the story is important. I can finally have this section mean something. Anyway, let's go through this game's story. So the main story of the game goes like this. The hack begins with meteors crashing down upon the Mushroom Kingdom, with Mario Galaxy plants coming from them. Mario defeats them, but Peach exclaims that a bigger problem is at hand. The moon! He's gonna smash into the Mushroom Kingdom, meaning Mario must collect stars. Okay, let's just roll with it. So Mario defeats Bowser really early in the game for a change, rather than at the end. Still worried about the moon, Mario continues collecting stars until he runs into a bunch of coloured Goombas, who are much more creative in how they fight Mario. Mario defeats these Goombas and sets his sights on the Shadow Factory. But then, a mysterious villain named Rashay appears and kidnaps the princess to take her to the moon, and offers Mario a trade. 80 stars for Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom's safety. Mario finally makes it to the Shadow Factory and defeats himself as a shadow, and is able to use a rocket to get to the moon. On the moon, Mario collects a few more stars, and once he reaches 80, he enters Rashay's moon base to defeat him. But Rashay is too strong, but with the help of the coloured Goombas from earlier, Mario harnesses the power of the stars he's retrieved and uses that power to beat Rashay, save the princess, and beat the game. Holy fucking shit, that story is awesome. Not many ROM hacks have a story so fucking epic, it's just wow. Everything in the game means something at the end too, as the power stars you collect help you beat the final boss, and I'm just like, why don't more hacks do that? Not only does this hack story beat SM64's, but it beats the story of any other hacks I've played. Props to Kaze for making it possible. But I do have a slight nitpick. How does Peach know that Mario needs to collect the Power Stars anyway? They clearly don't think Bowser is the culprit, as he didn't kidnap the princess, so how do they know that Power Stars are the solution? Maybe if Rashay kidnapped the princess before the game started and gave Mario his deal when the story started, it would feel like it had less plot holes, as then Mario would have a reason to collect the Power Stars from the beginning. Anyway, aside from that, this story is really fucking great. Let's move on to the game's world, shall we? You all know the drill, time to talk about 5 worlds from this game that deserve a more thorough critique. So let's get into those 5 worlds, shall we? This first level is really well designed. Not only is it a nice way to start the game, as it's really relaxing, the level has a looser feel to it, making the stars feel like a great way to learn about how this game will handle missions. Exploring the level doesn't feel too boring, too hard, or too long, and there are a couple of Yoshi's Island references around for Nintendo fans to weary emoji about. This level is so good that Retro Dario Gaming stole it for his own hack. Ah, level stealing, so wholesome. Another Yoshi's Island reference world, I guess, but you could say it's more than that. Crystal Caves is separated into two sections. Zora's Domain, this is literally Zora's Domain, and the Crystal Caves. In my opinion, the Zora's Domain section is a bit better, despite one major flaw. The fucking camera, oh my god. You have to swim to the bottom of the water in order for the camera to level out, and it's really annoying. I do like the boss fight in the water temple though, which isn't fucking stupid in this game. In the Crystal Caves area you have dark, more dark, and did I mention this place is dark? Kaze, do you mind brightening up the place a bit? I had to increase my computer's brightness in order to see the surroundings. This level gives you the frog suit, which similar to the water temple isn't fucking dumb in this game. This level improves two things from completely unrelated games. Did anyone ask? No, but I still enjoy it. But it does bring a few dumb problems with it. Mere level overall. Now you might be thinking, hey, doesn't he usually put the levels in the order they're in the game? Well, that's because I also conveniently made my least favourite level the last one I spoke about. So let's do things out of order for a change. And I really want to talk about Rainbow Road, even though it isn't the best the game has to offer. Rainbow Road is the best looking level in the game, and it also has as much varied challenges as any other level does, from riding a Mario Kart, destroying chain chomps with gay pride power, and collecting red coins on pixel art. This level has all of that. There are a couple of issues like electric lakitus and small platforms, but at the end of the day, this is a much better last level than SM64's last level. Which don't worry, I will talk about eventually. This level isn't as good as Starlight Runway though. Now when it comes to impressive levels, look no further than Dusky Doomed Dale. This level breaks away from the Mario formula in more ways than one, and manages to still be enjoyable, if not more enjoyable than the ones that follow the Mario formula in the first place. What do I mean by this exactly? Well, let me explain. This level has an overarching story. Ooh. Sure, other levels in Last Impact have this, but it is way more prominent than this level, especially the last 3 stars. So the story is that Mario goes into a mysterious cave to beat Undertale King Boo. Then he has to steal the town's gold to get the blacksmith to craft a star for him. Then he goes into the church. This is a filler star. Then Mario saves a witch by retrieving its wand. Then Mario gets put in jail and must escape. This is my favourite star of the level. Then Mario must beat the witch and save the town. Whoa! Firstly, I can't put my finger on the relevance behind stars 1 and 3, except we needed a boss fight and a red coin star. Well, firstly, you could have just replaced star 1 with something else, as there already is a boss fight in this level. And you could have placed the red coins in a place that fucking matters, because it seems weird that every star except those 2 actually matters in the level's plot. This level also has one of this game's beautiful custom composition soundtracks, and it really fits the theme. This level is beyond amazing and probably one of my favourite SM64 hack levels of all time. Now we come to this game's biggest stinker. Big Beast's Belly. Firstly, this is just a rip-off of Clanker's Cavern from Banjo-Kazooie. Well, the inside Clanker part at least. I enjoy the Banjo-Kazooie references in this level. What I don't get is why Kaze put all the worst aspects of Banjo and put them in as references. Like, if you're gonna reference Banjo, why the fuck would you put in the music orchestra jiggy as a reference, when it's clear most people hate that jiggy? And there's this. Why? Also, why does the water do slow damage to you? Oh, that's right. Kaze really wants to reference the worst aspects of Banjo-Kazooie, including Rusty Bucket Spade's fucking water. This level is fucking dumb. But the selection of levels in this game is really varied and interesting. There's so many different themes, even the plain-ass grass level isn't just a plain grass level this time. Sure, there are some stinky levels, but those are far outweighed by this game's positive levels. Here comes the difficulty part, the part that takes me the longest to write out. So how is SM64 Last Impact's difficulty? It starts off relatively easy with no stupid spikes here and there, and continuously rises to a much harder difficulty, with Course 15 and Bowser 3 being the hardest challenges, so pretty good. The only real gripe I have here is that the difficulty it rises to towards the end can be a bit too hard at times. You have that star in Big Beast's Belly where you have to side flip the urethra or whatever the thing at the end of your neck is called. You have some pretty obscure stars in the casino level, like this roulette wheel. You have some narrow platforming in Rainbow Road, even though narrow platforming in SM64 never ended well. For the most part, all the stars in this game are manageable. Perfectly manageable. But then you have this stupid big bully boss that you are able to fight before the first Bowser stage. Then you have Shadow Factory, and you have this star in Abandoned Outpost. These stars and levels are not fun because the difficulty is so amped up for no reason that you are scratching your head or raging at the screen. Most of these problems come from something else though, and it's this game's biggest flaw. That transition there might have given you the idea that I hate this game's presentation, which isn't true. I just have a lot to say about our new subcategory I've added to this episode's presentation section. Now, custom coding. Custom coding is done by hex editing or assembly and usually creates some interesting results when used correctly in a ROM hack. When I say that, I mean sometimes. Custom coding only works well in small bursts, but SM64 Last Impact is that small burst. Every single star in this game involves some kind of ASM custom code to make it work. As I said before, most of the stars in this game are actually good, such as the fuzzy drug trip star, this star where you ride some dandelions, this star where you defeat this custom boss, this star where you ride the balloon, this star where you grab this falling star, this star where you ride this roller coaster, this star where you're gonna stop right there and get to the punchline. All those stars I mentioned use heavy ASM to get working, but they are some of the worst stars in the game. Mainly because of a lack of guidance. This is honestly one of Kaze Emanuar's biggest mistakes. He hardly ever puts guidance in his hacks. Some stars are so obscure at times because he doesn't think to at least put a sign or an NPC or some obvious piece of fucking design to make the player go, oh, it seems I have to do this to beat the star. Some stars do have guidance, but the guidance they provide is either hard to find or the player doesn't think to look for it because they don't think they'll get any. A lot of people praise SM64 for having no tutorial, yet players immediately know what to do. And I think Kaze wants to copy that philosophy. But Kaze, there's a reason players actually know what to do. It's called good game design. Okay, rant over. Now, there are actually good stars that involve ASM, but they don't require ASM to actually fully work. They require a power-up or something cool created by ASM, rather than ASM being the gimmick itself. Rather than pushing air in some ugly fucking balloon, you can actually use a power-up to reach a star. Rather than riding some fucking roller coaster, seriously, why is this here? You can find some crafting materials to get a star crafted to you. Rather than ASM being the star itself, use ASM as a component to enhance the star or the game in some way. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that would be fair. I have no idea how to ASM code. I'm just saying to keep things more simple. Sometimes it feels like this is an ASM showcase hack rather than an actual game. Oh, time for collision. People are going off the wall about this specific topic. It's usually the only thing people talk about when criticizing this game, and I have no idea why. Oh wait, it's because I'm playing 1.2 and not the original version with tons of collision bugs. Sure, 1.2 has a fair share of collision related issues itself, but it isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Especially when they compare it to Star Road, which had its fair share of collision issues itself. It's almost as if people are just more nostalgic for Star Road and therefore defend it more. I am looking at these games critically, and both have collision problems. The original Last Impact has more of this, but 1.2 fixes the majority of them, so I have nothing to really complain about. You can walk on the levels, all the geometry does what it's supposed to, all the materials have the right sounds when you walk on them, it's fine. The models in this game are beautiful. They have complex geometry that is both realistic and Mario-like. They all match the themes they belong to, and I never see any model-related issues come up during the game. The nicest models are the level models, they have nice shading, good textures, and work nicely. The models I see people complaining about, however, are the custom object and enemy models. Here we go. You guys do realise what game this is, right? You guys do realize what Mario looks like in this game, right? I believe the words you were looking for here are low poly, meaning the custom enemy and object models also had to be low poly, meaning they aren't gonna look that good. Some people have also dared to compare them to Star World. Are you kidding me? Star World is being made by Skelux on the Nintendo DS. A very different piece of hardware. How is that even a fair comparison in the slightest? All I'm saying is, the level models are amazing, the object and enemy models are fine, models are good. The textures in this game are great too. They all fit the themes of the stages they're put in. There is enough variety in every stage that these textures don't get annoying to see being placed everywhere. None of them hurt my eyes or look fucking glitchy, so let's move on. Nothing interesting to talk about here, just really good textures. And finally, music. This game has some pretty great music, whether it's remixes from other games or custom compositions? There's actual custom music in this game? Yes, there is. Let's listen to some. Wait, it's that thing I never dare to mention. How dare Kaze put it in his own hat? How dare behold the mighty and destructive power of the bees! I love this music. And finally, the final boss music. All of this music is fantastic, especially that final boss theme, oh my god. It really feels like a final boss. Overall, the presentation here is insanely great, whether it's models, textures, and some damn good music. The custom coding is nice, but it's overused as fuck. Presentation is definitely this game's biggest strength. We're finally at the conclusion. Overall, Last Impact is a stellar ROM hack with some great levels, design, music, and even some interesting pieces of ASM coding. This game is definitely a love letter to Nintendo fans. I'd say Nintendo, but they took down a lot of Kaze's content, so I don't think they took it well. I suggest you guys help the guy by subscribing to him using the link below, so yeah. I really hope he doesn't get thrown off the internet. Anyway, the final score I give this hack is 8.1 out of 10. Here is the ranking so far. So here it is, folks. My Last Impact review. Next up is something a little different, so I hope you all are patient enough to wait for it. As for me, be sure to give a like, subscribe, and even hit that notification bell for previews of my own ROM hack and new episodes of this review series. I will see you next time, everyone. Peace out.